Welcome back to Building Bridges with Suriname. Let's turn now to the Executive Director, Ms. Nivea Ramsunder. Ms. Ramsunder, talk to us about the competition, its mandate, and besides competition law, what other mandate does the Caribbean Competition Commission have?
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Senator. So another fundamental role of the Commission is that it helps create a shift in the way that businesses operate in the region, particularly as it relates to consumer protection. So right now, the Commission is the only institution in the region that is recognized by the Treaty of Chaguaramas to address consumer protection within the region. Our main role is to support member states in the enhancement of consumer education and consumer welfare. We don't really see consumer issues escalating beyond national borders. So therefore, what we do is we monitor markets within the region to identify practices that may adversely impact consumer welfare. We conduct research on issues that may affect the interests of consumers, and we help promote safety standards in the member states, especially in collaboration with some of our sister institutions, such as CAPSA, Prosecute. So we do a lot of work with our established national consumer agencies and departments. Within Barbados, we have an excellent collaboration with the Barbados Fair Trading Commission and the consumer NGOs within the region. So I would think that it's a complementary role to competition to have that consumer mandate.
Well, thank you, Ms. Ramsunder. Mr. Headley, let's have a look at this short video and then we will come right back to you with some questions.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today I will be speaking briefly about the role the CCC plays as an advocate for the enactment and enforcement of consumer protection laws and policy in CARICOM member states. Before we dive into the role of the CCC, we should make clear who is a consumer. It is simple, really. Each individual is a consumer in our daily lives when we purchase goods such as bread and milk or services such as mobile phone top-ups and electricity for our personal and family use. I must make clear that a person purchasing goods and services for resale is not a consumer as defined under the law. The CCC is only an advocate and has no enforcement powers for consumer protection in member states. The CCC speaks on behalf of consumers to encourage and support individual member states' efforts to meet their national obligations under Articles 184 and 185 of the revised treaty. A good example of advocacy is engagement with member states to encourage them to enact national consumer protection laws based on the Model Consumer Protection Bill approved by CARICOM. A national consumer law enshrines consumer rights and gives legal effect to these rights. If there is no consumer protection law, there are no enforceable legal rights. I spoke about the rights of consumers, and these were the right to consumer education, right to be informed, right to redress, right to safety, right to be heard, right to satisfaction of basic needs, right to choose, right to healthy environment. These rights enable consumers to make certain demands on businesses to ensure they receive the best possible customer experience. This does not mean, though, that consumers can abuse their rights with respect to a business. Let us look at a right to redress when a good has a defect. For example, a recently purchased mobile phone. The options available for resolution can include repair, replacement, or refund, depending on the severity of the product defect. If the consumer and business fail to resolve the complaint between themselves, the National Consumer Protection Agency performs the role of honest broker to seek resolution of the dispute in accordance with the consumer law. As noted earlier, the CCC has no enforcement powers and cannot resolve a national consumer complaint directly. What the CCC brings to the community is monitoring and oversight and policy and legislative formulation for consumer protection. The CCC monitors consumer complaint trends in member states, analyzes the data, and uses the data to inform and recommend policy and/or legislative changes that will improve the welfare of all consumers in CARICOM. For more information on the CCC and your National Consumer Protection Framework, please visit our social media platforms and website. Thanks for watching.
Mr. Barry Headley, you were saying in the video a number of things. What I want you now to outline for the Caribbean region is some practical examples where the CCC have intervened in situations and made them better for the consumers of the Caribbean. Mr. Headley.
Thank you, Senator. The Commission constantly keeps regional markets under review and issues statements on areas of concern as needed. We also ensure that we are available for policy and legislative guidance to all member states. A good example of where we've issued statements would have been recent mergers in banking and insurance sectors in the region. Furthermore, the Commission remains relevant by sensitizing persons on the importance of competition law and policy and strengthening the competition culture within the region. And a good example of this would have been work we would have done in March 2019. The Commission convened its first inaugural lecture in Barbados. We twinned this with a 2-day competition training workshop where representatives of competition and regulatory authorities from Barbados, Trinidad, the OECS, and Curacao participated. In that same year, in September 2019, we also had a regional sensitization seminar in the OECS and a regional mergers workshop in Trinidad. And beyond the region, the Commission also makes its presence known in the international competition arena and participates in the OECD, IDB Latin America and Caribbean Competition Forum, the OECD Global Competition Forum, and the UNCTAD Intergovernmental Group of Experts on Competition Law and Consumer Protection Forum. So these are all ways in which we contribute and work towards benefiting consumers in the region.
Mr. Chairman, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I just say that the efforts we've made in terms of the banking debate, when the Republic Bank surfaced last year, as well as that of Scotia, we at least offered comments. I don't think they were necessarily taken on board, but we demonstrated that we were keeping things under scrutiny, and we offered our views to member governments for their consideration.
We'll take a break and be right back.
Building Bridges with Suriname, brought to you in collaboration with the Prime Minister's Office and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade.